The Calgary Police Service, in partnership with the Edmonton Police Service, is seeking the public's assistance in relation to the September 2016 shooting deaths of Cook Lung and Quang TRAN in Calgary, and the shooting death of Phu PHAN in Edmonton a few weeks later. It is believed the two shooting incidents are connected. However, a motive is not yet known. By the nature of the shootings, it is believed they were targeted attacks and there is no ongoing danger to the general public. At approximately 8 p.m. on Tuesday, September 20th, 2016, Lung, age 34, and Tran, age 38, returned to their residence in the 100 block of Redstone Manor Northeast when they were shot while sitting in their vehicle by unknown suspects. Lung's 5-year-old son was also in the car at the time of the shooting. However, the boy was uninjured. Tran died at the scene, and Lung was transported to hospital, where she died as a result of multiple gunshot wounds. At approximately 8 a.m. on Friday, October 7th, 2016, emergency crews responded to reports of a shooting in the area of 171st Avenue and 126th Street in the Edmonton community of Rapperswil, where Phan, age 30, was found deceased in the driveway of his residence. He died as a result of multiple gunshot wounds. He was Edmonton's 35th homicide victim of 2016. Investigators in both Calgary and Edmonton need the public's assistance in confirming the identity of a person of interest who we believe has information in relation to the deaths of Lung, Tran, and Phan. Information on 2 additional persons of interest is also being sought in connection with these incidents. We have released photos of all 3 of these persons of interest. Anyone in Calgary with information about the Lung, Tran, and Phan homicides or the men in the photos is asked to contact police by calling the non-emergency line at 403-266-1234 or the homicide tip line at 403-428-8877. Tips can also be left anonymously by contacting Crime Stoppers. I'll take any questions that you may have.
The 3 persons of interest, do you believe they're in Calgary? Could they be in Edmonton?
The persons of interest in the photographs that we provided, I would describe them as being fluid, so they could be anywhere in either Edmonton or Calgary.
Where were the photos taken, and was it recently?
Those photos are from the Edmonton area, and they were provided to Calgary investigators from EPS investigators.
Were they taken recently, though?
It's my understanding that those photographs are from the time of the offense up in Edmonton.
Is there a connection between the 3 persons?
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
Sorry, is there a connection between the 3 persons of interest, like you mentioned, the first person, and then you said the other 2 persons of interest? Is there a connection between the 3?
We don't know the connection between the 3 persons of interest. What we're doing is we're making a plea to the community to ask for some assistance in helping corroborate the identity of who these people are. I just want to add that the Calgary Police Service, and whether it's the homicide unit or any of our units that come to the community looking for assistance in identifying people, we've always had a lot of success. Our community is very much invested in public safety, and they've always been very forthright in coming forward with information.
Would the persons of interest be considered dangerous at all? Should the public be aware of anything of that nature?
I don't have any information to that effect, no.
Did the 3 victims know each other, and if so, how?
It's our belief that the victims in this matter, so the 2 Calgary victims and the Edmonton victim, are not known to one another.
In 2016, police were saying that those shootings...
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
In 2016,
Yeah.
police said those shootings were gang-related. Is that still the case?
I don't know what was said back in 2016, but I would certainly suggest that the people that are involved in these, the victims that were involved in these matters, in one way or another, to one degree or another, are involved in like what I would describe as an organized crime lifestyle.
I guess why now? Why are you coming out with this a year later?
Well, part of it is we're looking to we're looking to the community to assist us in corroborating the identities of who was involved. We have 3 very good photographs that we're able to provide. The community's ability to take a look at, or people that maybe know these people, to take a look at these photos and say, I know that person, I can assist the police. That's very important to us. The other issue that we want to try to address is, I gave the specific dates. So for instance, in Calgary, when Miss Lung and Mr. Tran were killed was in September of 2016. And then the Edmonton homicide was in October of 2016 as well. We're looking, if anyone recognizes these people, maybe something as silly as maybe you had a road rage incident with these people up in Edmonton or in Calgary, or maybe came across them and they have a distinctive look about them, whether it was their haircut or tattoos. Perhaps they may have filed that away in the back of their head somewhere, and they're able to now provide us with some information, maybe placing those people in Calgary or in Edmonton during the time of those offenses.
I know Aurelio kind of asked this earlier, but the way it was written in the release, the 3 persons of interest, it kind of describes them a little bit different. It says the one man may have information on this, and the other 2 are just persons of interest. Is there a discrepancy in the believed involvement of those 3 people of interest and what they may or may not know about these crimes?
Well, as you can imagine, in an investigation like this, particularly between 2 agencies like Edmonton and Calgary, there are a lot of what I would describe as investigative nuances that I can't get into in terms of relationships and what piece people may or may not have played into that. And this would be your question, although a good question, is an example of that. I can't get into the real detailed parts of the investigation.
So why make the discrepancy in the first place?
I didn't write the media release, and it was part of the messaging that we wanted to get out to the community.
And again, did you mention what led you to these 3 people? What led police to these 3 people to release this information about them?
Again, part of the investigation that, again, I hate to use that company line, if you will, but I just can't get into those individual nuances of that right now.
Is it believed the 3 people of interest have information on both incidents, or is it one of the men has info on only the Edmonton, or vice versa? Is it believed that they know about both these incidents?
We believe that all 3 of the photographed people have information about both homicides.
But then the victims don't know each other, so what do you think the connection is? No idea of motive at all?
I don't know what the connection is. That's a good question, and that's what we're trying to ferry out with the investigation.
Can I get you to clarify something you said earlier about these men being kind of in a fluid state in terms of location? Is that still though as far as Edmonton or Calgary?
Is it
still either Edmonton or Calgary?
Well, we do know that organized crime and people that are involved in that lifestyle, they have no borders. So they move very fluidly throughout the province, throughout Western Canada, and throughout our country. And we certainly have information that this particular group may go to Edmonton and may be in Calgary. Where they are, don't know. We're trying to identify who they are, and we're trying to get information from the community of who they or where they may have been during the time of these offenses. And really, that's the purpose of us being here today.
Have there been other witnesses or any other family members of any of the victims that have been cooperative in this, in both of these investigations, or what is the level of cooperation by other witnesses or family members of the victims?
Again, like I mentioned earlier, I can't speak for what's happening in Edmonton with their investigation, because that's their investigation. But I do know in Calgary that our community is always very, very helpful. That's why we come here in front of you, the cameras, 2 or 3 times a week, looking for assistance, because we always find success. By and large, we find success with that, and this is no exception to the rule. In terms of the specifics of who's been cooperative and who hasn't been cooperative, again, I can't get into that. That's part of the investigation. But again, Calgarians, they care about the city, and this is another example of us making that public plea for assistance.
One of the aspects of the shooting in Calgary, at least, that was so disturbing was the little boy that was in that vehicle.
Yeah.
Can you speak a little bit to that part of it, just the uniqueness of that situation, and the difficulty there, and maybe if you can, is how's that little boy doing?
Yeah, that. Yeah, I think that part of this particular offense had a real ripple, a real echo through our community. You can imagine being in a situation like that as a little boy, and I can report that that little person is doing well as can be expected, and is certainly safe.
Thanks, everybody. You guys good?
Thank you.